Hello and welcome back to one of the premier matches of our TI.
And it's between EG, a team coming in as a lot of people wouldn't think. I mean, maybe they thought they'd be good. Who knows? We saw in Super Major, they weren't that good. Liquid, one of the three favorites, obviously, between LGD, VP, and them. And Liquid is looking like, could it be a first two-time winner? Or
if it's going to be anybody, it's them.
Liquid.
Yeah.
Like, they just look so good. I mean, we see it, like, right, the mind control drill. We've seen Kuroki, Klink's not that game. They're just ready to do anything. BSJ, what's your favorite part of Liquid, besides their icon?
I just feel like they're always in sync. And that's such a pleasure to watch, because not only is it individually high-skill plays, but just even if they don't win, it feels like they had a plan, there was continuity, there was synergy, and it just didn't work out for the reasons that maybe it wasn't a good enough plan, maybe they misplayed a couple times, but there's nothing like they didn't play according to the heroes or items they built. They played exactly according to what you would expect.
And we do have
While BSJ was talking, we have 4 picks, and I want to just jump into those real quick. Appreciate that.
That was lightning round, to be fair.
Dude, it was.
I mean, I was timing myself. What was that?
Right,
4.5
so
minutes?
we got first pick EG. They went with Wisp immediately into Necro after Liquid followed up with the Wraith King Weaver. I think Weaver is one of the best cores to play against the Wisp.
Whoa, slow down, everyone. They're flying right now. I don't know where to go.
A ban Pugna Willow in the second phase. That makes sense, especially when you have a Necrophos on your team. The draft taken up by Liquid also makes a lot of sense. The first 3 bans from either side will just let rest.
It's interesting, right? They banned Gyro first, and then EG still takes the IO. I don't know, there's just something...
Give us the AA pick.
Off there.
This is the dream third pick AA.
Yes.
With Weaver, the stun from Wraith King to set it up in lane against IO Necro. If you don't pick AA, I'm going to question my knowledge of Dota. That I do that plenty already.
I was going to say.
Because there's no insult I can give to
I
Team
like how
Liquid.
you've just started serving up the softball, and then you hit it yourself.
Do we ban Oracle if we want to pick AA?
It's a good question.
It's a rough Oracle game. Weaver, especially when you already have Wisp Necro, I feel like Oracle just makes it so difficult for EG to actually take a fight ever. You have absolutely 0 reach, and then you have 2 supports that are fodder if they're found in the back line, and Weaver is very adept at doing just that.
Is there any other hero that would prevent you from wanting to pick it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying Oracle's good. I'm just saying if you're not scared of Oracle, then maybe there's... No, Klinks would probably be pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, I think that's a great ban, especially...
Dodges the Wraith King
It just seems like a stronger hero than it was given credit for initially. I think the change to the cooldown of your strafe was massive. Like, you went from 25 as the max cooldown when you're the skills level 4 to 15 seconds. That's unbelievable. Plus, you dodge all projectiles. And I think people have edited their builds. You saw Miracle play the game with 3-point searing arrows until max windwalk and strafe. I think that's a good innovation, as the damage only increases by 10. And once you're at 50 damage extra,
what's 60?
Yeah.
The lane's already over at that point. Now you just got to make it as soon as possible to have your maxed out strafe for ganking as well as farming. It's very useful for blitzing through camps and not having to worry about the cooldown not being available when you do make plays.
Liquid taking a decent chunk of time here, but they will pick Earth Spirit.
That
GH.
We saw this from EG.
I like that a lot. Another thing we've seen second pick do is take these 2 cores. I expect that to be Wraith King Weaver cores. I think if you were to go AA, you could do it here still. The Earth Spirit sort of sets you up for whatever 5 you would want. And I think it's much more important to hide an AA pick than it is an Earth Spirit. And again, the synergy between those 2 heroes is nuts. They both output massive amounts of magical damage. Ice Vortex obviously increasing it all.
And just, you have 2 supports then who are high team fighters. You have just massive amounts of team, which look at that last game, right? Like EG was definitely lacking a little bit, while Team Liquid was just Veno, Phoenix. They were ready to team fight, and they show why they're so good at it.
And I like the CM pick as well from EG. It's just what we've seen time and time again. It's their staple. It gives their draft a lot more mobility. And just you play as 3 in 3 lanes, which is what they always end up doing anyway.
Wow. Maybe a little bit of a deny pick as well to Evil Geniuses here.
I think that's more likely than them having that in their mind all the way from the initial bans. Like, EG still with full time to draft as well.
Has Kuroki ever played support Ursa? Is there a chance? Because it's not going to be full. GH is playing Earth Spirit. It's guaranteed. Are you guaranteeing the core?
Yeah, I feel like Ursa, the main thing is focusing on... he's actually not bad in lane against Necro, because you can threaten to kill him early. And also, you look at the supports and whether or not they threaten you. And these 2 supports simply don't.
But I'd argue that you can't kill them either. And if I'm playing Ursa, I want to be up against, heroes that lack mobility that I can just get on top of and kill immediately, a la, Silencer, as an example. Phoenix, perhaps. But when you're playing against Wisp, CM, like Wisp Necro or CM Necro, you cannot lane against that as Ursa. You have to dodge that. I do not believe you can play against a Necrophos with one of those supports.
You
just going to get spammed out.
Kuroki?
No, I just think you're wrong. I think Kuroki is right.
He has the right reason for picking it. My reasoning is just wrong. And I respect that. So we haven't seen Wisp Gyro again. We now see the classic.
Well, yeah, it's banned.
True.
But they still pick the Wisp. Usually you'd think if you ban the Gyro, that's kind of like a idea of, we ban the Gyro, they're probably not going to pick Wisp. Yeah. But they're still willing to pick the hero. Yeah, they don't think it's just the one combo.
We talked about that.
Yeah. We were having a discussion earlier.
5 seconds remaining.
I got nothing to say
about Gyro.
Like in this draft. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But so this time, you guys don't want to see a middle, right?
No.
Correct? Or do you, BSJ? Do you care?
I'd much just prefer to see it offlane.
Yeah, and we were talking about that during the break, but to the viewers, like, the Tiny seems incredibly strong with this Blink, Shadowblade, Echo. All those items increase, you get a power spike, and after that, you fall off. There's no sustained damage that ever really comes out of your hero. You're very cooldown dependent. You get 5 charges of your tree, like, that's it. As an offlaner, it feels like that's enough, and you have 2 cores you're making space for. When you play it as mid, it just feels like one hero becomes a liability once you hit that middle late game stage, 30 plus. And there's also too much survivability in all the enemy heroes for you to reliably one-shot anything.
So what are they putting middle on Liquid?
You wait for the last pick.
Because you have that, you can... I mean, you can honestly write Wraith King and Ursa. They can play support. I know you guys think Ursa's guaranteed to be a core, but since you have last pick, you can just... You pick what you want, right?
I remember playing with Fear. I would always be like trying to theory craft. Okay, if they do this, we do this, blah, 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 blah. And he would just be like, be quiet for about 20 seconds and in the middle of the blab, and he'd just be like, hey, why don't we see what they pick?
Turns out that didn't work too well for you guys.
Hey.
That guy did win a TI.
Yeah. There's a reason.
He's here right now.
Exactly. There's a reason he's .fear, man. That guy's a legend. Shout out to Fear. A lot of time spent on this last ban. You obviously have your 2 cores. It's just a question of, I love that's a great ban. That is a great ban. I
can't believe they didn't prioritize it higher, to be honest. But
I think that it makes sense, though, because when you're playing against it's too easy to counter an AA, I feel. Especially when you already have a Weaver. Like, you just pick some hero that gets on top of these supports and kills them, and the sustain from your Wisp is going to be too much.
Oh.
It's a solid last ban, though.
I guess we're going to find out what EG wants, at least first. Will a Tiny be middle again for Sumail? I mean, we saw he did dominate the CS charts, but unfortunately he died, and he was down about 400 gold, because, I mean, as a Tiny versus that claims, right, 0 armor, you're just healing self, healing self, healing self.
And that's, I would say, if Sumail had a weakness, it's that he's always willing to buy regen when necessary to stay in lane. And he'll sometimes overdo it, and I think in that game he used like 5 or 6 salves in the first 4 to 5 minutes. Like, that's a heavy investment. That's 2 creeps.
Oh.
I think Invoker still looks very good for Liquid as well.
Team Liquid's turn to pick near eye.
Marana.
Still look good
Solid.
after Marana.
Yep. It's just a standard EG hero. One of the highest win rates in the tournament. We've discussed it many times on this cast. 4 abilities, great talents, tons of utility.
Who's playing what? Before we see, give me your take on the cores of EG.
I think it's going to be S4 Tiny,
10 seconds remaining.
and then it depends on the mid matchup
Okay.
which hero Sumail takes. I think it's more likely it's Sumail Marana. I think that's probably one of his best 3 heroes right now. I think Marana Storm fit his playstyle and the meta perfectly, and I really like watching him play them.
Now for Liquid, anything that just, whoa, that's a good hero.
The only one that stands out is Invoker to me.
Invoker.
I
But
think it's very possible.
I don't see... I mean, I never really expect...
There you go.
That's the first time I think I've ever predicted Team Liquid's drafts, because they're on a whole nother wavelength than these other teams, especially in the drafting. And not necessarily saying they're the best drafting team in the world, but saying that they can make anything work. They understand these heroes in weird ways that I feel like a lot of other players don't.
Who's going to be the other support, though? Is it Ursa, Wraith King, or Weaver?
It's Weaver here.
You think it's a 5-position Weaver?
Dude, look at how
Against
Noah's
Tiny,
picking.
it's a 5 Weaver, yeah.
I love how just no miracles playing
No
both.
one knows
And you know Chris playing IO.
Come on, GH, pick the Weaver Spear. We know that's happening.
Fly,
That's true.
Fly CM, his favorite hero in Dota for the last 8 billion years.
Is it?
Miracle Invoker. Yeah.
And EG
Not Phoenix.
learned the hard way that you're not allowed to swap.
Phoenix, but CM Phoenix, those are his big 2.
10 seconds
TI5, he would play CM every game.
Arteezy Necro.
Yep.
There's no swapping. What you see
Yeah.
is what you get.
Yeah.
I hope they remember that.
Yeah, no, and that's why the viewers need to understand that, yes.
Mind control Weaver.
Oh, it's 5-position Wraith King. Like I said,
All right. I don't mind it. This is something only Liquid seems to still have a lot of faith in. This was how EG played soon after TI7. This dual melee support roaming, where you don't have a traditional 5 or this int spellcaster that a lot of the other teams utilize. You just have 2 heroes that run around and enable your 3 cores that are all self-sufficient and independent. And in this sense, they both have Sunstrike set up, which is excellent when you consider you're playing with arguably the best Invoker in the world, although SCCC would certainly give him a run for his money based on what we saw today. Yeah, exactly.
And we're just going to see Xor Invoker this game, right?
I would say so,
No
yes.
Claw Swags. Okay. So you see the heroes. We're gonna hop right into it. But man, whose draft do you guys favor? Does that mean you favor Liquid's draft a little, or do you like the more comfort picks from Evil Geniuses?
I like Team Liquid's draft again this game. I think the Invoker has a hard time being bursted other than the Tiny combo, and unless they have follow-up, I don't think it's going to be enough. And Ursa, I don't know how to explain it in this case, but Ursa just feels like a really nice core Ursa game. He's not going to be your win condition, but Ursa Invoker is a classic combo because Ursa enables the early to mid-game aggression while Invoker will make use of your space very well and scale into the late game. And the Roche combined with the team fight and just pick I feel like those 2 heroes just complement each other really well.
You see Arteezy asking level 1 Roche? No.
Evil Geniuses turn to ban.
It gives their
That didn't work too well for you.
I've ever predicted
ways to describe this tournament, where at this point I think we've probably spent more time with each other as the Dota community than we have anyone else in our lives. So it's safe to say we're all friends here.
Do you see Sumail? He throws his tree into the road pit. He's like, all right, we weren't memeing, but we've seen no one on the map yet.
But that's the least you could possibly commit to check Roche, It's we weren't really worried about it, but just in case.
Because what if they actually were doing it? But I look at this and say, I like the early aggression at the rune from Liquid. They are hiding. They still have they seen GH? Can they see him there?
I believe so.
Well, they see him.
Crit ultimates.
Making the play potentially on Ursa, who does have Fury Swipes level. That's odd. Most of the time you see people hold the point, but both teams going to get 2 runes. And the thing about the Necro lanes and IO, and even more so when they're both together, they just sustain through pretty much everything. So the only way to deal with that is to kill them. So it's not particularly shocking from what we've seen in the tournament against heroes like Enchantress to just tri-lane them. We talked about this the other day, and I really like this decision by Liquid. They're doing the same thing they did last game. where they cut the creep wave, forcing Arteezy to TP to tower, as you're seeing now. Crit can just tether to him, so that's not all that bad.
It's a really cool move, though, that they commit 3 heroes just to force the TPs, and then we'll see if they did what they did last game, where Crow just TPs the bottom now.
It's GH actually looking to be maybe roaming. Man, we have not seen a roaming hero in a long time, but Earth Spirit obviously not the best laner, right? That's why the hero has fallen off. He likes to roam a little bit more. What do you do with
He's
this?
courier hunting.
He is.
And you know why? Because they recognize that once again, Sumail goes for the fast bottle on Tiny, so he's going to be rushing it out as soon as he has
And
the
if he
CS.
snipes it before the bottle gets there, that's GG in the mid lane.
So he's willing to. How long are you willing to wait here for?
You know
3
he's
minutes?
going to use the courier. I think you can invest at least another 30 seconds to a minute here.
You'd think Sumail has to know, right? They have to be telling him, GH isn't top, and he's like, well, is he bottom? No, he's not bottom.
We'll
You got to
see.
be thinking of it. Well,
I don't know.
not.
Maybe he's used the courier a lot. I
Oh,
mean,
it's
maybe
taking a bad angle.
Oh, the base, come
Here we
on.
go.
Oh, GH is he's
GH?
gone.
Oh,
He's coming middle instead. He does have roll. He will actually just whiff and look at it. He got nervous on the courier, sent it back, but he will get in. Looks like it'll go bottom after this. We got some salves and wards. Maybe not. So middle, it's 9-3 versus 4-1. This to be expected. Tiny does not really lose the first early waves. Top lane,
Wow.
Arteezy and a lot of trouble. Arteezy's dead. Kuroki was trying to get to
that was... He went no points in Thunderclap. He just ran at him with Overpower and got the full 8 hits off. Wow, that's a lot of damage, though. Nice body blocking by Kuro to set up that kill.
That means you have to go level 2 Ghost Shroud in this lane, right?
Yeah.
You can't go greedy Heartstopper. So bottom lane, the only other lane we haven't talked about is going to be the S4, who plays a very more carry-oriented in the offlane with his Mirana. Gonna go against Weaver, who is level 3. He is solo, right? So he's been getting a ton of experience.
They had no sentry on the Crystal Maiden, so he was able to reliably Sakuchi for CS.
Yep, and to your point, like, yeah, GH didn't get much done. Nice denied by Miracle there, but the Weaver, because of no sentry, is able to just lane here by himself, no problem. CM Mirana is more of a harass-focused lane. They can't actually threaten kills until later levels.
They did plant a sentry now, but I think it's a little too late.
Yep.
Top. Again, you see it, Matumba, man. He is not afraid to just run at either of these.
Who needs Morbid Mask on Ursa when you just have a Wraith King? He actually took the second level in Vampiric Aura.
And IO is just dead. Oh,
Wow.
almost gets away, but almost is not good enough. Croaky actually just picks it up. I believe it's a great fight.
That's such a cool concept. He stacks the mangoes, too, and a ton of regen for both players, but the early Vampiric Aura is great in the event that the Heartstopper gets skilled. Like, it's just sustain against these 2 range heroes, and Necro, he doesn't kill you, he just whittles you down and out-regens you, and it's very difficult to do that in this case.
This is looking like a great start from Liquid. They're up more than 1,000 gold, only 3 minutes in. Mind control, very high level, because GH just was kind of chilling around. Mind control will take a ton of damage. This might be a kill. Oh, he gets the stick up. He needs 2 more attacks. He salves. Will it be enough? They go. The sentry is still there, but it won't be in time. And instead, GH kills Fly on the backside, and wow, Liquid.
War's in trouble, too.
Just playing solo. Will that be a double? It will, but I think he might just get run at the side. That would be even worse. He gets it for EG. They're not
salves
feeling
him.
good. Yeah.
Oh no, GH used it on himself. Mind control, likes to TP back.
Yeah, he had no mana. It was the right decision.
Ow, and look at this. Liquid is just playing so well right now. Out of their mind. Regen bottom, by the way.
And that's the difference between, I would say, Liquid, Gohan.
Middle. Sumail's in a little bit of trouble. Look who's coming. It's the Forge Spirit from the other side. Body blocks from Kuroki. It's going to be a toss back. Sumail, is he going to live? Oh, he dodges the boulder. There's no way you live there. No. A nice dodge, but way better play from Liquid in general.
Yeah, Liquid and VP seem to have very creative and adaptive ways they draft and play. E.g. VGJ Storm, they identify their strengths, their strong draft, specifically the openers, and they build upon that, but they don't seem to have that same flair. It'll be interesting to see as the tournament develops which ideas win. I mean, would you ever see Fly buying a Radiance on Phoenix?
Probably not. I don't think Fly would ever get that farm, or would his team let him get that farm.
Probably not.
And now GH, he will get slowed up. Can he roll? It's going to be a nice kick. It hits 2, and now mind controls here. It is going to be a freeze. He has Sakuchi at 2. The Sunstrike will completely miss, barely, but Fly probably going to die to the bug. He does. And
Bounty
Sumail, he needs to kill this, and yeah, you see it, mind control. He's going to scoop up a rune top. It looks like it's just going to be rune after rune for Liquid. Well, GH does go down to S4, but mind control. He's just running.
Sunstrike's
diving.
cooldown.
They cut the trees with the quelling blade, or with the tango, excuse me, from the Wraith King, allowing them to get the wrap around on the Wisp. And even though they don't kill them here, I think overall they're happy with this trade.
They're just trading because their Shrine's active.
Yep.
It's really smart play from Liquid. They just get as much as they can off. Oh, Sunstrike?
Oh, it's going to be there, plus the boulder from GH just to help out. And just the roaming. I thought you guys get... Isn't roaming dead? Doesn't seem to be dead here.
It's the way that Liquid plays. I wouldn't say it is roaming. They're roaming as a way to help secure their cores, their lanes. They pick very strong, independent laners, and especially when they have Invoker, they almost always employ this 2 melee stunner support duo to just set up Sunstrikes. Like right there, like that's just a free kill for an Invoker, and it was easy peasy.
Yeah, well, he does dodge the Sunstrike, and now Crit's going to be here to help out. Will they be able to get GH? It's going to hit Miracle, actually. And GH might get away because he won't get slowed. There's another toss. Can't go for it. A nice rotation. Wow, these kills are great. The whole roaming thing, you do see the gold lead actually went down. True. It's only 1,000 gold now for Liquid. So...
It's just because of this bottom lane. It's still 2v1, and even though Weaver had a good start, once CM Mirana gets to this level, the harass becomes very difficult for MC to sustain through.
Look at this tower. It is getting beaten down by the siege creep right now. In comes Kuroki. Do we have anyone from the backlines? We sure can. GH get a double stun? No, he's just going to kick fly back. Get rid of that aura. GH, though, is going to die, and S4 gets the kill. Kuroki gets the kill on the other side, and maybe you want someone else to get that, but... Oh,
he got it from the dot on his Q. He actually walked straight past on purpose, but...
He did the one top, too, as well. He's just getting these, I don't know, lucky for him, unlucky for the rest of his team. Now, middle, just Miracle versus Sumail. And Miracle, he is winning. It's very even in CS, but almost a full level up on the Invoker right now.
Yeah. It's just so hard. Once you get to this phase, especially his Exort Invoker, look how hard he's hitting. 130 base damage at this point.
Yep, and they're both up there. The problem is, guess what is tiny? You don't really have armor. Luckily you do now, but... Backside flying Kuroki. They're just going to run at each other. Sumail's going to come over and help. GH is here. Sunstrike! He's going to hit, but Kuroki again will end up getting the kill. It's going to be a toss into the air. He has another stun, but look at it. S4 TPing in. This guy's pretty strong. He does have it. The Ghost Walk goes off. Do they have any detection? Doesn't look like it.
Raindrop to save.
He's going to go. Can they get Kuroki? They're committing a lot of time to try to get him. They did see him at the last thing, so they're going to continue going. He tosses him on over. S4, oh, if he gets denied here, he does.
Jesus Christ.
The toss kills the tree to allow the creep in, and that's a rough rotation for S4.
All part of the plan. You could see him place himself near those trees.
Knowing the radius of exactly how far the trees will break, and all calculated.
How do you have vision there, by the way? How do you toss him over? I didn't think he had vision.
Just weird daytime things.
Okay. S4, he's getting right click, flies here, trying to bait in, gonna use a raindrop charge, and Sunstrike, oh. Just toss him out, right? There's no reason not to go for that one.
I really like the build of Miracle as well. Just treads Aquila Wand, gives him the optimum amount of survivability against heavy burst damage matchup. And then he's just going to go for the axe.
And he already had the raindrops too.
Yeah.
So he's even committed more to just making sure he continues sustaining and remaining above burst level of the Tiny.
We see Fly. Wants to maybe make him use his ulti, and he might, but he's going to die for it. And no, what? Okay, he's going to bottle up wall. He's
on the sentry.
A lot of damage. There's a sentry. He doesn't get the double star. The arrow flies out. And S4, he is getting some kills. He's the only one that he is on a killing spree.
Oh, they're roaching.
3 kills. They are roaching very early with...
And you see Garcizi just picked it out. He knows these two heroes can certainly do this. Lifesteal Aura, as you said, no more advantage required.
Yeah, well, they're going to go in. Oh,
he has ult with the next overpower in 3 seconds.
Oh my goodness, they can't. They know Reaper's
commit. You can commit.
Can you?
Yeah. Oh, you don't get bashed.
Bashed though.
Oh my god, the bash,
He might just get ulti. He's gonna get ulti right here by Arteezy. See you later, Alex.
Bash, man. He would have actually stolen his entire life, like health pool back with those Fury swipes. He had 24 stacks, hitting for an extra 500 damage with his ult. Or sorry, excuse me, 900 damage with his ult.
So it's a lot.
Damage. It is a lot. Yeah.
It just, that's why I was like, you can't commit, because you got to assume the worst is going to happen, right? Or no? Do you just play balls to the wall?
He got bashed on first hit from Roche after he ulted. I think that's
worst
really
case scenario.
So are you saying that it was a misplay, or do you think he just got a...
Oh, Miracle God. Miracle God is just playing out of the middle lane. Sumail does a little dance, believes he's rolling. The meteor is going to hit, but he won't run over it. Meanwhile, can he live? Crit's coming in. Will it be in time? I don't think it will. It won't be. And now, is it be in trouble? Yeah, Crit's going to go down as well. From a save to missing it to a double kill. Miracle takes a lot of damage, but he's juggling the orbs on him.
Dude.
And they smoke on top of a dire ward. Yep. But that's...
It's an interesting smoke.
Yeah, I think he just wants to rotate to top as quickly as possible, but EG, since they see it, they're not gonna...
I need to be careful. Can he just die right here? He looks like... There it is. He's gonna sunstrike. He's not dead yet. Gets the nuke off. He's still alive. He's gonna get healed. GH is gonna go down. Fly actually gets the kill. Mind control's gonna be like, thanks, I get a little more gold, and he's just gonna run away.
This is all setting up the mid push, though. He's just alacritating the catapult, even though it has no health.
Yep.
Relocate behind them in the mid lane, and the tornado disengages for a while, but that's just a level 5... Wraith King. I don't think that's...
But he did that on purpose. Kuroki gave his life for the team, because in the meantime, Ursa's just pressuring top all by himself.
Going for a Blink Dagger, has it in 700 gold. When you're not the core aspect of your team, meaning that you are the Ursa, where you have this Invoker scaling into the late game, you just rush this Blink as soon as possible. He doesn't need like a Morbid Mask, as we've already seen from the Wraith King aura. So he's going to be able to threaten kills on a lot of heroes of EG. Like, even CM, like, you can't protect yourself because you can just ult off the Frostbite.
S4, he's going to take a lot of damage. Just Bug, obviously, doing a ton. He's going to leap over. He has a teleport scroll, but he doesn't want to use it, and GH might punish him for that. He still has 2 leaps, as well as his ulti just coming off cooldown. And now Double Star Storm will go out. Uh-oh, he's going to get silenced up, though. He does have 3 wand charges. Get him in. He has to leap that way. He had another leap, though, and, well calculated by S4. If GH hits that...
Bottom.
What a silence,
Oh, can Tiny, is he going to look for him? Nah, he's going back middle. So why is Sumail... Why has Sumail been getting blinked at last game and this game instead of Shadowblade?
I think the previous game against the Veno, it was a rough decision. This game, it makes sense just because you can kill the Earth Spirit and initiate on the Invoker. You have a lot of follow-up thanks to the Arrow and the CM. It's just the mid-Tiny in general just feels odd. At this point, he's pretty much playing as the 3, but I feel like Sumail would be so much more valuable to his team on the Mirana versus the Tiny.
And we see, I mean, it's a 14-6 lead kill-wise for Liquid, but it's getting very close to being in EG's favor. Well, is it just because Liquid, I mean, if they commit for a gank, they have to, like, get it, or else they're just wasting a lot of time, right? Which they have been doing.
I mean, they're playing against 3 heroes on EG. All 3 cores, as always, can farm effectively, and they have CM Aura and Wisp. So you're going to get out lane shoved, you're going to get out farmed, but you can find kills far easier with your 2 stunning supports.
I know he's at the camp.
Yeah,
Haystroon and Dust. They have Dust.
So Wraith King with ult, though.
So you want to get that. You definitely want to at least take this down. Looks like they might just give him up. No, they're not. GH is going to roll an easy level 6. He is. He's going to pop it up. And now they're just going to kill GH instead, though. A lot of damage done, but not terrible. Miracle does get the tower, and Mind Control's farming bottom. S4 just going to TP away. He dodged it. But Arteezy gets a kill. My bad for missing that one. Luckily, I'm not the obs. And Matumba Man, he goes down, and now look at this. IO, they just get the kill. Now Arteezy, this dude is... Yep. He's getting a lot of gold.
This is the strength of the Necro. You just play so aggressively, especially with the Wisp behind him. You can't take him down. I love the choice to go 4-staff into Veil. You have optimum stats. He's about to hit his level 10 talent for 40 damage, and he hits hard. And you can't really deal with this Necro on the side of Liquid. You're the Invoker's the real counter to him, but you don't... Invoker's not a hero that's going to thrive at this stage of the game. You play for like level 25 on this hero.
Yeah, they do have, at least you do have the G. You got silence and stun, but if Arteezy good positioning with crit.
Look at the warding as well.
Yeah, they're sitting on top of a ward on the 2 supports. They were debating smoking. It looked like they had it in their inventories.
They see another TP.
They see this entire thing. Are they just going to smoke immediately?
Oh, they're going to go in for the kill. This is going to be an easy one on Kuroki. And Fly from the high ground gets a decent amount of damage and slow before he gets stunned by GH.
DD on Tiny, and that's just these fortunate runes for Sumail are enabling these plays. The last smoke they smoked because they had that haste rune, and that's just opportunistic decision making that you have to be able to capitalize on those type of advantages.
This game feels 4v4, right? Mind Control and S4 are both just sitting by him farming. Like, isn't one of these guys just going to come out and all of a sudden, wow, he's farmed?
This little plays, like S4 scans, knows that there's enemies at the rune. I guarantee he's going to just cut this wave real quick and then get out of dodge, or maybe just hide in trees, we'll see. But he continues to play the offlane, as you said, and the 4 wards, just a line of control, so that EG can continue to play in this top Radiant Shrine area.
That's 5 wards.
Yeah, it also defends Roche. Yeah, the 5 wards.
Holy smokes. That's a lot of vision. Yeah. And S4, as you said, just plays bottom. So he's the ward bottom. Yeah, that's 6 wards.
You have to play this area as dire. One of the big advantages of Radiant is that you have a much easier path to Roche, and they have Ursa Wraith King. You need to maintain control in this space, because an early Roche just removes your ability to take fights for a little while.
BSJ, I know you saw him throw that tree and miss the CS with his tree.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but, you know.
It's close to his blink. He actually needed that, right? He's only 200 off that blink. You got to... I know it's the little things, but little things add up to big things.
It's true.
Yeah, that last time I checked my addition, but what I see here from the offlaners is what we saw last series, where the offlaners are enabling the rest of their team to play the way they are because they're basically counter-pressuring each other. Like, if one offlaner was doing this and the other wasn't, then you'd have a tough time making maneuvers around the map.
Arteezy, he's a little bit out of position. He has the 4-step, though. Get it going, Viz. And now they're going to try to turn in. I think Liquid knows something's up.
Look how high.
That's a veil. Oh, isn't quite enough damage, though. And the Ursa turns his blood. He has no ability to follow up on this if he gets the Ghost Shroud off, and there's no Reaper.
Another advantage is room for Smell.
Yeah, but they don't want to dive into base. Probably a smart decision, diving the base at 16 minutes in.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, Liquid played this properly, waiting till they could amass their entire team before going up into this top shrine area, but Arteezy already took that top tier 2 to 300 health, so now it's just finished. And they loop back for the mid tower, they all of a sudden have total control in this area, and EG jumps out to a 2k lead.
And we're seeing the acceleration / enabling items on Arteezy going into the Radiance next.
Ooh, fly, well... He's used to that much, but look at Matoma jumps behind him almost immediately.
No ulti on
He's going to try to run away. He does not have any leaps. He might just be dead here. He's trying to scare him. Will Miracle get it? No, Matoma Man will finish him, and that was such a nice play.
Is that Roche? It is. Look at that. Immediately. No hesitation.
If no buyback. They don't know he doesn't have buyback, though, right? Aren't you... they're not scared, apparently, which they shouldn't be. Well...
Alacrity?
And he's getting bad. If you get bad 2 or 3 more times...
Nice, the bug takes the aggro, that's huge. Has overpower in 7 seconds, that's when it'll die. So that's how long EG has to get to this roach pit.
Sumail. Silence.
Nice silence. It's only on Chris Sumail. Is he actually going to go into this? This seems like such a crazy play. Fly on the backside, doing a ton of damage, but Matoma Man already picks it up. We're going to see the Cyclone come out. Sumail is just going to die right here. He is in no man's land. Fly, he's just dying as well. And it looks like this 4v5 commitment might be a 4 for 0 for Liquid. Crit takes a ton of damage as well. He will get healed up, saving him maybe 1 more hit. Mind control on the backside, no HP, but it doesn't matter. Here come the bugs. Will they put themselves under? They sure will. Sunstrike, that's a kill, and a 4 for 0 plus Roshan. Did he even lose the Aegis? He did not.
Man, we talk about how one of the easy ways to lose games is to go try and defend a tower when the enemy team is already set up. Let's just call it objectives, because that Roche is already dead. It's Wraith King Ursa.
S4.
EG.
Did S4 just get himself killed here? He did. He double leaped to take off Kuroki's ulti and then just tried. That was it was a 5 for 0.
Yeah, and that's just good play from Liquid. They waited. They had so much patience. They let their tier 2 top go. It was good play from EG, but Liquid didn't make the mistake of walking into the area EG had total control of. They take an advantageous fight afterwards, get the Roche, and EG makes the mistake of thinking they can contest, but man, they're too strong.
Yep.
The team fight of Liquid.
Yep, which is what they've drafted quite a bit, right? Last game and this game, they always have the better team. Like Fly had a decent ulti in the back, but when you just have a decent ulti, it's Crystal Main and a Roche. Like, probably not the best Fly. Oh my lord. Almost just kills him. Full to 0. They're going to try to push a tier 1 right now, and they'll get it.
We don't have time for the replay just because of how fast this game is moving, but
Basher on
the
Ursa.
silence on the Wisp and the Urn on the Tiny prevented them from getting into the pit before the Roche died. And just GH Earth Spirit, man. No one else plays this hero, yet somehow he manages to make it viable.
And look at his mind control. He's moved from bottom to top lane. He's just taking a tier 2 by himself right now.
tower is
And
under
doesn't look like
attack.
anyone wants to stop him. There's going to be a fight. Croaky is going to stop. Is he going to be able to get Ghost Strike? He gets the bash, but it won't be enough because he does get Ghost Strike. He's going to heal up a little. Oh, but if he stands there, he's going to die, and he sure does. He goes down. Croaky does die to Arteezy, but now are they going to get crit as well? They sure will. Matumba Man picks it up, and now they're looking for Sumail. Matumba Man, bash after bash. Miracle wants this kill, will get it. He's godlike, and now it is looking a lot worse for EG and a lot better for Liquid.
BSJ, you're just sitting there watching with like these crazy expressions on your face. What's going on?
Dude, it's
Just high level Dota.
This is the reason why I love Dota. These games are the embodiment of what makes Dota such a beautiful game. Just watching the plays, like the decision making, everything's around objectives. It's so beautiful. The bounty rooms, the Roche, like everything's so quick. There's no hesitations. Even just the skills on Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit's one of the most fun. It's the funnest heroes to watch. Like you watch Crit the other day completely take over a game on the 4 position Earth Spirit, like solo killing the cores, and you see in this game GH. It feels like this hero in the right hands is quite underrated right now.
And S4, he's just caught no man's
Top lane.
He was pretty far, but yeah, they're going to go in. They're just going to dive the base. Fly thought he was safe. He's like, I'm in my base. I'm going to do that now. It's only a 4K lead, but it feels so much more the map controlled by Liquid.
When you get to this part of the game, you have these 3 cores that can just play so aggressively around the map, and both supports, like, it's a 1+1. Any core, any support on a hero, that's a kill.
This is where Ursa thrives.
I love the Basher pickup, too.
You usually see a Basher, but not this early. You'll sometimes see a BKB maybe first, but he first hit Bash Arteezy, and then he first hit Bash Crit as well now IO, and well, what are you going to do? You don't want to toss into your base. The rest of his team could be behind him. You and Aegis, well, they're going to. He's just going to run away. Now Sumail's in a lot of trouble. Reaper Sight will pick off the Aegis. Can Sumail get out of here? I think EG considers to win if he does. Oh, Sunstrike, I believe. Lucky enough, Overcharge helping out a little, but now Matumba Man's in a little bit of trouble. They're just attacking from the high ground. Starstorm will go out. They haven't killed him quite yet. GH with the save. The toss, he's like, oh, they get it though. Sumail picks him off with the toss, but now look at this. Arteezy in no man's land as well as Kuroki going down. He still had his ulti. See you later, Arteezy. Shrine's gonna get popped, so they're all gonna get farmed up. Here comes Miracle. 3-man deafening blast, stun toss combo. Miracle a little bit of trouble. They have detection now. S4 gets the kill. That's a lot of gold. Ulti from Fly, and GH goes down. You just fought into a Shrine with an IO on the other team.
And if it weren't for that Shrine, though, that would have been absolutely insane. GH and Miracle hit 4 heroes with like 8 spells, but as you said, Wisp plus Shrine, that is a very difficult engagement. Hopefully we get a replay of that.
Look at I just look at damage done on the recap. 20,000 damage by 22 minutes in.
It's so insanely smooth though. Like GH kicks Matumba Man away. It's the only reason he has even a prayer of living. He dies to the toss from Sumail, max range, 0.2 seconds away from getting the blink out.
Sumail and mind control. I don't think you can burst him down, but look who else here. It's going to be flying crit. It won't matter. Matumba Man already killed
this
Sumail.
is the support.
And they're in a lot of trouble too, yeah. Will anyone get out of here? Arteezy's here now. He's going to throw it out. Look at it's going to be GH out of nowhere. Every hero just showed up. Look at even S4's here now, but he jumps into the bug. Can't get Mike though. He does because the Maelstrom popped. But look at this Arteezy. He's going to go down. The Sunstrike instantly blows him up, and now S4 is going to die to Matumba Man, and the low cooldowns of Liquid come through again.
Unbelievable. 32-17 in just 23 minutes. And BSJ, you're so quiet, it's hilarious because no one can see you, but he's just like straight up staring at this game. He cannot look away. Yeah, here comes the team fight outside of the pin. Look at the kick away, and he's so close to living. You can see his HP, the toss,
dude, the blink,
just before the stun, and then they follow EG continuing to chase. They know there's an active Shrine here. Kuroki will give his life for the team, and Miracle GH, we see this do them all the time. They're 2-on-4. They do not give a damn. They go straight in, but in the time 2 minutes after this fight, you see EG get team wiped. It's still just a 3K lead for Liquid. Anyone can take this.
Miracle probably shouldn't have blinked uphill when the Shrine was active, though, right?
Probably not. Probably not.
He was going crazy. He's like, I've got Ursa, I've got me, let's go.
He's won a TI already. It's group stage. It's style points.
Do you realize how much fun we're having? Yeah. Imagine how much fun they're having. Sure. You gotta factor in the momentum. The momentum part of the game where he blinks uphill because he sees a 4-man deafening blast, and this game's been so exciting. I think these. I mean, they love playing Dota when you see these type of games. You know, these teams like very rarely do they get the opportunity to play these games just as rare as we get to watch them. And Miracle getting to play a signature Invoker is such a pleasure to watch. And I feel that all these fights, it's just play after play after play. Smoke to top on Liquid, gets the haste rune on Ursa, has
find them all.
The overpower and blink in 3 seconds. Can they catch him? Gets Sumail, has the ulti if he wants to bubble the damage, which he does, and Sumail goes down full to 0. That's why I love Ursa against these melee core strength heroes that rely on their innate tankiness, because that raw health doesn't matter when his extra attacks just do more damage.
Yep, and this is why Tiny, one of the most picked heroes at this event, but one of the lowest win rates. I feel like it's partly due that even though Sumail did do excellently in the mid lane, he's now 6th in net worth, and unfortunately I just don't see a way for him to come back into the game. You get the Blink Echo, you can get the Shadow Blade, but at this point his damage output does not increase.
GH and Miracle, they see something's up. Dust is going to get popped. It's on the Necro. Cret didn't get dusted. Will it be enough? He kicks over. Matumba kills Fly in the middle lane, but look at this. What a play by Miracle as well as GH. And Kroki, he'll come and steal some of the shine, but another perfect play from Miracle and GH. Those two, quite the duo.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Matumba Man
owns Fly. Yep. And gets level 18, the level 3 ulti. Just more damage, right, BSJ?
Yeah. The thing about what I was mentioning in the draft is certain supports, you can't actually kill them even when you have Blink Basher. And even though these supports can defend themselves earlier on in the game, when you look at this Blink Basher timing on Ursa, and that's why he rushes it, he just kills anyone he wants on the map. Like, with a +1 he can kill a core, by himself he can kill a support.
Yep, and there you see it.
I think how much damage that is with just a Basher, and that's why that extra overpower hit that was given to him in the last patch, it's not just one extra hit. That hit is extra Fury Swipe damage. It's 210 damage.
Do you know how hard it is to roll in and land a kick in like that frame? I've played Earth Spear before. I don't know if you have BSJ.
I wouldn't want to watch.
I didn't do it again.
Yeah. But could Z-Freak do that?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty
After
good,
some practice. GH seems to have that just on autopilot.
We saw Crit doing it the other day, too. These are two of the best Earth Spirit players in the world in the same game, and we have the pleasure of watching one of them have the chance to play it, and they just go right back into the Roche pit, dies almost immediately. The minus armor as well. More importantly, this bug tanks the Roche, so he doesn't have the chance of getting bashed. And the Ursa is just so enabled by having this Aegis. Whether it's Cheese or it's Aegis, the Cheese is a little... He's got to be careful because the Cheese is nice, but against but against the Necrophos, it's a little scary because if you have half health, you need to pop it preemptively, and I expect nothing less than for him to do that.
If he commits, it's going to be BKB. Like you can't afford to jump into a fight with no BKB in this sort of game. There's 5 heroes that have nasty spells, and you got to give Aegis to Miracle.
They know something's uphill. They're going to jump in. Matumman takes a lot of damage, but has the Cheese. He will just get Spirit Vessel, try to heal on up, and the only one not here.
Just come stand next to him, Kroki. You got this. Just heal back up.
Mind Control's done such a good job of just playing in off lane, safe lanes.
The Linken's is so cool. I guarantee Mind Control's going to be waiting and watching for that Reaper scythe you just brought up. He's going to drop that Linken's as it's in cast range at least once this game. That saves him.
It's a 9k. It was about 3k about 5 minutes ago, but Liquid is just taking over the game. They got Roche, and look at it. There you see the mountain growing. There's a BKB on Miran now, can pump out some damage, but it feels like she's just one whole item behind right now.
It's a rough game for EG. As soon as they took those mid-game team fights and lost the Roshans, like, it's really that fight at Roche. It's most of the time in this meta, you're going to be losing games at Roche or at Towers.
Whoa. That's the beauty of Versa. You don't have to commit very hard.
Oh, here we go. The fight to happen. 3 of them. We're going to see Sumail going on the back line. That's 4 gets his BKB up, but it's not going to matter. Miracle is just styling on him right now. That's going to be 3 quick kills. Arteezy is going to buy back. Looks like S4 wants to get GH, but you're not even going to get him. It's just a massacre by the Dire Shrine.
And just like the dinosaurs, a big-ass meteor renders all of Evil Geniuses extinct. Arteezy buys back, tips to Miracle. At this point, I don't know if you can come back from this one.
We were talking about how SEC, we just got a clinic today. SEC and Miracle just played 2 of the best Invokers we've seen in a long time.
And Quad Spikes on one of them and Exort on the other.
We got the sampler,
And this is why Ursa and Invoker synergize so well. Ursa initiates the fight, doesn't even have to deal the damage, just has to force them to react to his initial movement. And our Invoker's not an initiator. He's a follow-up and, like, punish the poor positioning of EG, and that's only going to happen if EG's forced to react to something in the first place. And you saw, Matumba did no damage there. But his play allowed for Invoker to be set up do everything that he just did, and it's so beautiful to watch.
They're going to find one. Will they, though? Mind control has multi, goes back, gets all his life back. It's going to be GH on the backside. Hits a nice one. Miracle as well with the combo. They get the Reaper side that doesn't do anything. Sumail is dead. No buyback. Arkeezy with the dieback. S4 just going to run away. And now Liquid, they're going to get the game because it'll be GG called by EG, and Liquid is looking crispy as all can be right now. My goodness.
Man, of all the teams, you know, people give a lot of praise to Wings, but I feel like Wings was a great Dota team, don't get me wrong, but they have the benefit, much like Tupac and Biggie.
Yes.
They disbanded before we could see them at any other tournaments post-TI. Liquid was the best team in the world, bar none, at TI7. This entire